Well, welcome back to the Sports Show. Bevan Jones, of course, the host of Chewing the Fat, joins us. He's going to talk about the controversies that were happening this week in sport. Bevo, welcome.
Great to be back again, Smithy and Baz.
Good to see you. What do you want to start with, mate?
Well, there's so much to talk about at the moment, but let's get stuck into our power, Baz. Last week, they played really well for 3 quarters against the Dockers. That last quarter, they just ran out of steam. Now, I want to get to a point about the travel for the power. Let's talk about China now. Obviously, it's a big money thing. They're making some good money from it, but did it make Port cooked in that last quarter? They've been to Tassie, they've been to China and Perth the last few weeks. They looked pretty tired in that last quarter and didn't score at all against the Dockers. Has it cost them potentially a finals berth this year by going to China?
Didn't have one possession inside 50.
That's right.
In the last quarter.
They looked.
So you think that's the reason they were cooked?
I don't, but it may play a part because of the other travel as well, like you just mentioned. Tassie, China, Perth. It's a big load, isn't it?
It's a lot.
It's a big load.
Well, let me throw a curveball to you. So it's great for Port Adelaide to go to China. What happens if the other teams go, sorry, not going? So right now, the 2 teams that have gone have come back, and they've been cooked on the way back and cooked on the way over because Port have learnt how to make the trip and travel really well.
We deliberately cook them, that's
Absolutely.
right. Yeah,
so you go, if I was sitting at North Melbourne, Port rang me and said, mate, we want you to go to China and play. I'll go, well, geez, that's a game we're going to lose.
Well, I think they've signed a contract now for a few years at least.
But for a couple of years. But if the formula, if the domino effect was that you kept losing and you came back and you kept losing, the opposition, so I'm not saying Port Adelaide, I'm saying the opposition might suddenly go, you know what? We don't want to do this.
The Saints being a perfect example. So all those players getting sick and stuff over there as well. And
I reckon in the end what you'll find is they'll do a graph on it and they'll be able to see. I mean, you mentioned too, they've done Perth in that time, they've done Tasmania. So perhaps the AFL needs to look at helping Port out a bit, going, when you do that trip, we'll give you a couple of games at home before then we send you back on the road again. That would be the simple formula.
That's fair. It's not a bad point, Bevo. It's not a bad point, and it's easy to look at the stats and go, wow. They didn't have those possessions in the last quarter. They didn't do anything. So the travel's got them. Freo played pretty well.
Oh, 100%.
In that last quarter. It looked to me like Port took their side that played really well for 3 quarters, took them off, and let's bring on our turnover team. Now they can come on now and start kicking the ball to everyone else but Port Adelaide.
And they did it really well.
And we did it brilliantly.
All right. So
that has been the issue with Port Adelaide for the last few years.
But it could well do.
It could do.
We'll see what happens.
A bit more skill work. Okay. What else you got for us, mate?
Whilst on the topic of AFL, there's just so much going on. But what about on the weekend, the game between the Kangaroos and the Giants? There was a fight between Zeeble and Heath Shaw. A security guard tried to break up the fight during the game.
He was coming in. I would really like to know, Bevo. I'd really like to know what the umpire actually said to him.
Yeah, that would be
because the umpire went like that straight away, didn't he? He gave it to him straight away.
Like, get off.
Yeah, so I'd like to know what the actual, because he would have been a reserve umpire. He would have been one of the
emergency umpires.
Yeah, one of the emergency umpires who just pointed at the security guard and told him where to get off. It looked funny though, didn't it?
It did.
It looked weird. But I think what you were saying about earlier, exactly right.
He would have pinched him. So is that annoying you at all, mate? I'll take 2 weeks for that.
But that's another issue.
I'm just going to stump on your
That's interesting question. Okay, I know this is your segment, but I do want to get onto this. 2 weeks for the pinching. I mean, okay, he's got the bruises, and it's not a good look. We understand that. But the stomp on the foot, he could have broken some bones and put him out for 6 weeks. So can't get 2 weeks for that. Sorry, can't. That's more than 2 weeks.
I seriously thought, Bevo, I thought he might get 1 for the pinching. Just to say, mate, don't do that again, but at least 3.
For stomping,
because that's stomping. There's been a lot of foot injuries in the AFL in the last few years. Bad ones, really bad ones, that have ended blokes' careers.
Yeah. Absolutely. You start talking about that, the Victor bone and all that.
Foot, and I have been stomped before. The bones in the top of the foot are not designed to be stomped on.
Especially by a football boot as well.
By a football boot.
I can tell you it's happened accidentally to me as well, Baz, and it hurts.
Okay, so we all agree that he should have got more than 2 for the stomping on the foot. My other bone on this, so you've opened up the can of worms now, mate. I want to know why the umpires don't do something. I'm standing there watching you pinch. This drives me crazy at the start of the game. They get around the square and they're belting each other and they're pushing each other. Give a free kick. As soon as you give a free kick, that's all gone.
But Phil,
they're like 2 roosters in the yard.
In fairness to that bit at the start of the game,
I don't mind a little bit of that.
That only lasts for.
But I don't mind a bit of that, mate. But when guys are actually punching a guy in the back, you go, and the umpire's standing there, go, mate, that's a free.
I agree with
that's
that.
a free.
But generally, it's the emotion of the start of the game. that only lasts for about a minute.
Well,
and then you're off playing, then you're off running around. You don't do it too much anymore.
All right, mate, you've got time for one more question because we're getting the wine up from
One
the floor.
more, one more thing.
Yep.
Anti-behavioural people at the Marvel Stadium last week, boys. That just looked absolutely ridiculous as well.
Didn't look good.
What is going on with our great game of footy? You know, this. Yeah.
I want to know who's responsible for that. Who's responsible?
About the SANFL
well, it's
before.
not the AFL, mate. It's not the AFL.
Well, they own the venue.
But there was no directive given by the AFL to Marvel Stadium to say, this is Marvel Stadium's
stadium management.
They made that decision.
They've said
so
this,
Gillam's got nothing to do with that.
I think thinking they were doing the right thing.
Yeah.
I think Marvel Stadium thought they were doing the right thing by increasing security and whatever. But these guys...
it looked ridiculous.
It looked terrible.
Yeah.
It looked terrible. And if you looked at the people's faces...
Yeah,
that's what looked terrible.
The thing is that there's a minority of idiots that ruin it because there's people that start fights and stuff, which we don't want to see in our game, right? But there's a majority of people that just want to go to the footy, barrack. I look at Joff, a perfect example. He's been a Collingwood cheer squad leader for a number of years, loves his footy, loves his club.
Agree.
He goes there, he supports his team, he might bag the umpires, but it's never like he's never dropping the F-bomb or anything like that. And if he does, then maybe...
If you two blokes keep talking, you're going to be outed for 2 weeks because we have to wrap up the show. Hope you've enjoyed the show, everybody. We'll look forward to your company next week. Bye for now.